Here are 10 more awesome iPad Pro games with 120 FPS support. For reference, all games have been played on a 2018 11-inch iPad Pro. Also, the rumours are not true. COD Mobile supports up to 60 FPS on iPad Pro, not 120. I checked this with Activision. Recently, Ustoy Games informed me that on the 25th of January 2019, both Monument Valley 1 and 2 were updated, bringing support for 120 FPS gameplay by default on 3rd Gen iPad Pros only. Both Monument Valley games are amazing puzzle adventure titles. All the big and small animations from puzzle solving, character movement, level transitions, and even snow falling really come to life and look beautiful at this high frame rate. Both games are paid titles and have no ads or in-app purchases, and both can be played offline too. This game is similar to Critical Ops shown in the prior video, and even CSGO, but it is set back with a smaller player base. It does bring decent graphics, gun mechanics, and ragdoll physics. To enable 120 frames, change the target FPS to 120 from the settings menu. If you have a new iPad Pro, you can also play at max graphical settings and still hit 120 FPS. You can also enable the FPS counter to track the game's frame rate. When playing at this high frame rate though, have your charger connected to avoid your battery draining too quickly. Standoff 2 is a free game and requires internet to play. On the 29th of January 2020, Fortnite was updated to version 11.40.3, bringing 120 FPS gameplay on 3rd Gen iPad Pros only. Head to settings on the main menu to activate it. Choosing 120 FPS is a real treat to the eyes, but keep in mind, when in this state, the game has to run at medium settings. You can also track the game's frame rate by enabling this option from the settings menu. I suggest playing with the charger connected again, because if your iPad is low on battery, you may notice frame rate drops. Fortnite is free, requires internet to play, supports cloud backup, and controllers too. Recently I contacted Noodle Cake and they confirmed that their game Posesions plays at 120 FPS by default on iPad Pros. Posesions is all about using perspective and spatial awareness to solve 3D puzzles. You must look at various objects from different angles until they appear to be in their right place. As you do this, you'll be learning about the story of the family that inhabit this house. Posesions is available to download if you're subscribed to Apple Arcade. Since it's a part of Apple Arcade, it has no ads or in-app purchases. It can also be played offline and supports iCloud backup. On the 12th of August 2019, this role-playing game was updated to version 1.5.1, which enabled 120 FPS by default on iPad Pro. Battleheart Legacy was released back in 2014, but since then it has received improved resolutions and is now available on PC, iOS, and Android. Battleheart Legacy has 2D characters set in a rich 3D world, filled with lots of enemies to battle, using a refined real-time combat system. Battleheart Legacy is a paid game with no ads or in-app purchases. It can be played offline and supports iCloud backup. Here is a unique and challenging 3D flight experience. It was removed from the App Store a few years ago due to being 32-bit. However, in 2019, Game Club updated the app to a 64-bit architecture, and now it runs at 120 FPS on iPad Pros. Mellow Dive works by you using the gyroscope on your iPad to change the direction you head, and you can tap on screen to boost. Mellow Dive is playable for free, with some sections and features only available to subscribers of Game Club Pro, which is an optional in-app purchase. There are no third-party advertisements here.
诚心所至，枯木回春，善哉。
On the 17th of April 2019, NetEase Games updated this indie adventure to version 1.1.0. This made the game playable by default at 120 FPS and brought enhanced graphics. Ink Mountains of Mystery represents the beauty of traditional Chinese landscape paintings, so you can actually explore these paintings and collect items and reveal mysteries on them. The world has been hand-painted using 3D technology. The dialogue is fantastic too, and the gameplay is just so relaxing overall. Ink Mountains of Mystery is completely free, with no ads or in-app purchases, and it's playable offline. Incredible. Armajet is a 2.5D multiplayer jetpack game. It features cross-platform 4x4 arena battles between PC, iOS, iPadOS, and Android. You can choose different loadouts, different game modes, and you can unlock and upgrade heroes. To enable this high frame rate, you must change the target FPS up to 120. Have your charger connected to avoid your battery draining too quickly. Armajet is free to download and requires internet to play.
This game is about trying to help people understand the position of another person. Fixing the physical with the tools that you understand, but also fixing the emotional with tools that we all struggle with on a day-by-day basis.
Here is another Ustway Games title that runs at 120Hz on iPad Pros. I confirmed this with the devs. Assemble with Care involves lots of reading and fixing broken objects. It's lovely to play on iPad Pros because of their larger displays and, well, obviously, high refresh rate, which works wonders for the reading sections here. Sure, Assemble with Care is not the most graphically advanced game. Nevertheless, a lot of attention to detail has been put into this game. Assemble with Care is available to download if you're subscribed to Apple Arcade. Since it's a part of Apple Arcade, it has no ads or in-app purchases, and it can be played offline and supports iCloud backup too. And here are bonus games that I want to talk about. So, free-to-play first-person shooter Shadowgun War Games is releasing on the 16th of Feb. It is going to support up to 90 frames per second. PUBG Mobile is set to release an update with support for 90 and 120 FPS. I believe this version went up for the Chinese version of PUBG last year, but since then there hasn't been an update on when the global release will come. Banana Racer is a 2D motorcycle racing game where you can go into challenges or races across 3 cities, all featuring numerous levels. On the 11th of August 2019, the developer added 120 FPS on 3rd gen iPad Pros only. Banana Racer is free to try, then you can pay 99 cents to unlock extra levels. It supports controllers and is playable offline too. Do you own an iPad Pro? If so, what games do you enjoy playing on it, and why? Let's talk about it in the comments. Be sure to watch my first episode, as there are 14 more games in that video with 120 FPS support. Leave a like if you found this video useful, and if you're new to the channel, subscribe and turn on notifications, as this is the best place to find games for all your Apple devices. Thanks for watching.